This week, we were supposed to do the podcast in New Orleans, but we've decided to do it in Vegas and give you all the podcast B for New Orleans. Oh, welcome everybody to this week's episode of the Cream of the Crop podcast. I'm joined, as always, by my two lovely compadres, Olas and KJ. We are 3 weeks behind because I'm a big dumb in holidays, and that's all we're going to talk about it. Unrelated, all of our mics should be working, and if it's not, the playback of this is going to be really funny. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about. So we're gonna. I did inform them we are skipping game this week just because we have 4 weeks of shit to go over, and I wanted to be sure we had time to thoroughly discuss everything.
We're gonna fit 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag
Damn
tonight,
right.
baby. Let's go.
Pushing down with both hands, you know.
Stomp on that shit. Let's go.
So as always, we like to start with a little This Week in Geek, and it is just a mess of just me bitching, and I'm all about it. So where to start with? We'll start with the easiest one. So, NetherRealm, the studio that's behind Mortal Kombat, has officially come out and said that they are ending their focus on Mortal Kombat 1 after 2 years, and that they are moving on to the next project, Injustice 3. I mean, it's kind of odd because I think this is the quickest turnaround fighting game wise for them as far as life cycle. I did kind of expect this because they've already released a definitive edition, which usually is kind of the,
nail in the coffin.
Nail in the coffin there that the game's done. Which is, I mean, what, we're 2 DLC or 2 sets of seasons into it? Like, I'm used to there at least being one more. I do think as strong as this game started, it did what every fighting game these last 2 years have done, maybe outside of Tekken, and just fumbled. I know Mortal Kombat was one of the ones that I heard complaints about the most, Dragon Ball Z being the other one. That really there was stuff that was added that turned out to be really worse for wear. And when I say that, I mean more of the what did they call it? Where you had the additional support character, the cameo characters. That was a big plague because it really kind of took the flow out of it. And obviously some of them were spammier than others.
Yes.
I know people were generally disappointed with a lot of the DLC. Not to mention the 2 of the DLC characters they added are inherently kind of the same fucking character. And I'm referencing Omni-Man and Homelander, who like are kind of just the same character. But yeah, it's overall, I think the fighting games had such a strong 2023 and 20, because we even talked on here that like how good the fighting game scene was for a while there, that they all inherently kind of dropped the ball. I mean, Street Fighter too. I think Street Fighter for a little bit there dropped the ball, and I think is slowly back on the incline since now they're, some of the new stuff they've released. But I know the biggest complaint with Street Fighter was the DLCs were so inconsistent. That like you'd get one month, and then it would be 4 months later you'd get the other one, and then 2 months later you'd get another one, and there just was no consistency to it. Tekken was balancing issues. I heard a lot of that where the online balancing was just terrible. Obviously, we've talked about Sparkling Zero having its issues as far as its own balancing, which to some degree I understand that, considering what you're basing the characters off of, that the balancing in that would be inherently difficult.
It's an unbalanced mess, and also being able to spam like cutscenes instead of actual combos
Yeah,
gets fucking annoying after a while.
it's true. Um, hopefully 2025. You know, I obviously think we're gonna have 2025 going into 2026. I see Injustice being the next project they're working on because they kind of hinted to it in
Yeah,
some
and
of their posts.
I don't want it.
I the comic nerd in me does. The gamer in me is like, if we're just gonna do the same thing we did with Mortal Kombat 1, I don't want it. I know, I think like I said, Tekken and Street Fighter are back on the upswing. I know Fatal Fury dropped a new title that seems to be doing pretty well, even though, with that being kind of a B tier fighting franchise. And if that upsets you, it absolutely is a B tier fighting franchise, and that comes from somebody that enjoys Final Fight and Fatal Fury. um, One thing, I don't know if you all are big, like toy guys as far as like Marvel Legends and all that stuff. They are dropping what I think is the coolest line. They are finally doing a Capcom Marvel versus Capcom line where it's all the characters are straight from the video game. And I saw the Venom and Cap and went, shit, I might have to snag this to put up somewhere because it's just they look so good. But I did see that they announced that. They're like $27 a figure now, which is just, I remember buying those things at flea markets for like $12 a pop. Just to think they're $27.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to the crazy prices that statues are nowadays.
Yeah. You can get, depending on what they are, there's some that you can get. Now, I will say they definitely aren't all the same, because you can definitely get some cheap ones that are absolutely what you pay for. Every now and then I get like a few stores where I'll catch some decent ones. Like I've seen some good Piccolo ones and some Dragon Ball Z ones that weren't crazy. But yeah, no, the nerd collecting has become just such a crazy pricing game now. Between, you know, like I said, the Marvel toys. I mean, shit, Black Series Star Wars figures are nuts to me, with like some of these shits being 30 something dollars a figure. I can't swing it. Hell, I even found out that Pops, Funko's raising their prices now with the tariffs and stuff. They went from 12 to 15. They said they were going to go to 17. The internet bullied them back to 15. So makes it a little more difficult for me. But whatever. And then transitioning. So a lot of this night's going to be game companies. That's the main focal point of tonight is game companies doing stupid shit. So I don't know if you all have heard about the Bungie drama with their game marathon that they're working on.
Oh, they can't catch a fucking.
Oh, dude! Well, what they're fucking catching's lefts, man. They're begging for a right at this point. So the major drama around that, obviously, if you've not seen, is they showed starting artwork of the marathon game, and a creator known as, oh, I want to do this justice, because if I'm going to quote it, I want to be sure to give credit to the person they're stealing from. Anti-Real came out and showed that that the work that they are showing is ripoffs from stuff he did back in 2017. And what's funny is Bungie initially tries to seem like they deny it. And then people have done dives where they showed, I think it was 4 or 5 of their members on the team were followed to this this art creator since 2017.
You mother passed off his work as y'all own, and it shit got way too far.
I will say they eventually did confirm that it was plagiarism, even though we all kind of knew it was. The internals that have come out from Bungie have talked that the morale is pretty much in a free fall right now as far as the team that's in development of Marathon. they haven't canceled the game, but Bungie has effectively pulled all marketing plans and trailers for the next coming months. I believe that they were set to have a beta in August that has now been put on to be determined. Obviously, Sony and them are dealing with whatever legal repercussions they're dealing with as far as how they're going to handle this. And it just pays to show you, just because you pull fucking content from somebody that may not be as big as you doesn't mean it won't bite you in the ass.
Correct.
Make your own shit, guys. It's not that hard. Or if you're at least gonna pull shit, at least give credit to the people you're pulling shit from. It's not that hard. And then we have what is my second favorite story of the week is Gearbox president is just really making sure nobody's gonna buy Borderlands 4. So some complaints came out. Obviously, Borderlands 4 got announced, and they've shown some stuff on it. It came out that it was going to be $80, and the community's not happy about it, as we are not happy about having to pay $80 for new games. And so somebody, I think it was on Twitter, tweeted at him about, hey, you know, why is this shit so expensive, and you know, why are you letting it be what it is? To which he replied to, which is always a great move to reply to comments like that unvetted. That he has no, as the CEO, he has no control over the pricing, which seems odd to me. That would definitely feel like something that should be in your wheelhouse, but I'm also not a business guy. But that if you're a true fan of Borderlands 4, you'll pay the money and you'll figure a way to do it.
Hit you with the classic, if you're broke, just say that.
Exactly. And of course, you can imagine that the response to this tweet has been
Was very reasonable.
super reasonable.
Everyone admitted, yeah, no, we're kind of broke right now. But even if we did have the money, why the fuck would we pay you?
Yeah. So it has been overwhelmingly negative. Even people like myself, who's very much a Borderlands guy, went, yeah, I'll just wait for it to go on sale. Because here's the thing. Even if you take, let's do some math here, okay? So Borderlands is about as close to a live service game as we can get without it being an actual live service game. So you got the base game, $80. There's ching, $80 right there. They usually pump out about 4 or 5 DLCs, and you got to pay for each of those. So I mean, let's lowball, even on a lowball end. Let's say they're $20 a DLC. So at 5, that's another 100. So now I'm $180 invested. Not to mention Borderlands 3 really pushed the cosmetic microtransactions very heavily, which go anywhere from $2 to I think $8, depending on what it is. So I mean, let's say you like that shit starts adding up. So it ain't now. It's not just about it being an $80 game. It's an $80 game, and I know we've bitched about this, but it's just it blows my mind that we always have to have this conversation of it ain't just $80. It's more like $200,
right,
when it's all said and done. So either
I mean, it just goes back to the same point of always of, you know, hey, listen, if it's a less expensive game and you have microtransactions like a $10 game, $5 game, even a free to play game with the, again, the Fortnite thing
Yeah.
and the, you know, whatever, that's fine. But Jesus Christ, like they're bending us over at every avenue they can find.
and I still hate to hear that this constant shit's going up because of tariffs. I have no doubt that that's true in some way, shape, or form. I have a hard time believing digital media is included in that, or at least to the degree that they're claiming is the issue.
Everything going up, but what the fuck they paying me?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Where's my wage ain't going up?
Yeah. Rent
But you know
going up,
whose
bills
whose
going
wages
up.
are going up is all the CEOs because they're
Well,
pocketing all the
yeah.
extra money.
Yeah.
Like
They
that's
can eat a dick. I'm about to I'm about to cosplay as Johnny Silverhand and blow up a fucking building in a video game.
In a video
listen
game.
here, Luigi, calm yourself down.
Hey, he didn't do it. He pled not guilty.
I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is
fuck.
I was hanging out with him when the thing happened. I don't know. He was shirtless and everything. Like, I don't know, it's such a weird guy, you know.
That's my cousin on my mother's side.
Yeah.
And he did my gutters for me here.
Yeah,
So he wasn't even in the state.
I'm just saying. Johnny might have been right. I'm gonna dress up like Keanu Reeves. I'm gonna show up at a game studio, and just shit might happen.
Shit might happen.
Allegedly.
In game.
In a video
in
game.
Minecraft. In Minecraft.
In Cyberpunk.
And I talk about all this to end on the favorite part of the night is just shitting on Nintendo. Shitting on Nintendo has become just my personal passion as a nobody that I hope this platform takes off. If it takes off for anything and it's me shitting on Nintendo, I'm okay with that.
As you wear a Nintendo branded shirt.
Hey, guess what? It's
Boo
not
this man.
It's Etsy. It's Etsy.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be hearing from their lawyer.
Come at me, Nintendo. I know that's kind of ironic. I ain't even planned that. That's just
I was gonna say something as soon as you put your camera on. I was like, fucking guys wearing Nintendo based shit. Like, come on, what are we doing?
So we kind of touched on this in the last episode that nobody will ever see because I didn't put audio in it.
Another cursed episode.
Cursed episode, yeah, number 2. We got 2 cursed episodes.
It's like 3.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Now we had one with
Don't worry
audio
about it.
I sent you like the first 15 minutes, but it didn't like work or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, it was a good time.
We've come a long way, still doing the same shit.
Yeah.
But so I'm trying to remember what it because there's been so much. To start with, obviously, hey, those physical cartridges they're gonna charge you $10 extra for don't actually have any games on them, guys. You're paying $10 extra for nothing.
You're paying for plastic.
Yeah. So they pretty much announced that the game cartridges now will have digital codes that allow your Switch to go into a lobby to purchase the game digitally. The fuck are we doing, man? Like, I don't just don't offer physical at that point then.
No. Just, you don't get what the big plan is. You don't understand.
You're right. I absolutely don't.
This is Nintendo trying to fuck over GameStop because I'm tired of going into GameStop and paying about $350 for Pokemon fucking Ruby. And they've caught on that they can't make any money out the deal. So they said, fuck it. We're going to release a bunch of Pokemon games that y'all can't resell. Matter of fact, all our shit y'all can't resell. So tell fucking titty GameStop, fuck you.
Oh, man.
Also, pretty sure like nobody else can ever use it. Like, hey,
exactly.
You can borrow my game. Just kidding. Fuck you. You can't do shit now.
Again, GameStop gets fucked over because they can no longer buy Nintendo games off people.
I mean, to be fair, they should have gave me more than $3 for my fucking GTA San Andreas. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying I get $20 for reselling them Pokemon Sun, and they will charge $75 for that one game. So they can go fuck themselves. Also, all the Pokemon cards that mysteriously disappeared, now that they're selling graded Pokemon cards, fuck you. Just saying.
This pack looks opened.
No, idiot. No. Because they were doing grading. They would send, you could take your cards to GameStop, have them send it out for grading. Then a bunch of those cards mysteriously disappeared. And now they're selling packs. Now they're selling special sets with graded cards in them. You wonder what happened to those mysterious cards that went missing? Here you go. They're selling them back to people.
Duly noted. Not going through GameStop. Gotcha. But so some other stuff has come out. Obviously, hey, by the way, that Switch 2 you nerds are about to buy, you don't actually fucking own it. You big dumb idiots. Yeah, Nintendo's pretty much said that they can brick your Switch 2 at any point.
Yeah.
And you can't do nothing
Why the
about it
fuck not?
because the terms of agreement, new ones you guys just signed up for, says you can't sue them unless it's for copyright infringement. Real fucking convenient. Like, I don't know, man. This is at some point. What is it? How long are these people gonna keep getting away with this?
Yep.
I
As
just
long as people keep buying.
hey,
I stopped buying shit since the Switch came out. So I ain't part of the problem.
yeah, I'm not buying Switch 2. I really was going to when they announced it. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy this and have shit for another 10 years, and then I'll buy the next one in 10 years. Nope, not doing that shit.
Yep. Did all this shit to kill the hype.
I
But
will.
dumb fucks will forever buy this shit. So who fucking.
And if you come in here and tell me that not you guys, but I'm pointing to the people watching. If you all come in our fucking comment section and brag about how you bought a Switch 2, I'll shame you like the bitch from fucking Game of Thrones. I will walk you through and just shame. You're part of the fucking problem, and you fucking Nintendo dick suckers. You guys are part of the problem too. You know, it's all cool because you get some kind of sponsorship out of it. Maybe I don't fucking know.
Damn.
Like
Whores.
If there's one thing this podcast will never do is whore out to a brand. Fucking best Wayne's World. We can just do a Wayne's World bit with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because this is gonna set a lot of precedents, and obviously you've seen Xbox is following in suit with their console increases for consoles that have been out for 5 years. Game companies are also following in suit, like Gearbox, that are now charging $80 for their games. I know Elden Ring Night Rain came out. What did that, is it 70 or is it, I didn't get to check. I know it came out on Friday. I figured maybe
Hold on,
one of
I'll
you
tell
all
you right now. Where to go? It was just right here. $40.
Shit, okay.
Isn't it just DLC?
Is it? I thought it was like a standalone.
It's like it's technically standalone, but it's like a online co-op.
Also, isn't it like
roguelike.
it doesn't have? It has single player. It has trios, but it doesn't have duo. You can't play with one other person. You have to play with
There's already a mod for it where you can do duos now. That's just crazy how quickly they are on that shit. Yeah, I agree. At that point,
why skip?
It's my same complaint with and somehow I'm able to fit this into a conversation naturally. Call of Duty, people are bitching right now because the Warzone, they edited it where they put singles, duos, and quads, but they took out trios, which was like has been in it for the last 6 months. They took out rank play, put a casual playlist that has bots in it. And so it's, yeah, I don't understand if we're gonna do the singles and we're gonna do the trios. I don't always have a third friend.
Yeah.
Like, you know, weird choice. And I'm not shitting on the game. I suck at Elden Ring and played 2 hours of it, and I haven't touched it since. Because I'm bad at games. So cool, but I don't know, man. I'm not looking forward to the new $80 to $90 for a game. Someone's got to give with it.
Yeah, buy more indie games.
True.
Play more indie games. Support smaller companies. Potential game of the year only cost $50 this year. Like, just saying.
Is that Expedition?
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean Expedition's killing it. I mean, even you look at Steam, some of the random like repo has been awesome, and they're actually updating it. Schedule 1's been awesome from what I've heard. I'm having a shit ton of fun playing Splitgate 2 right now, and that's fucking $0. So I mean, yeah.
Can I ask you a stupid question? Because
Hit
I
me
didn't
with it.
really get much to see. How much has it changed from the first one? I mean, the first one was cool. Like, I didn't have a problem with it. I'm just always curious when they come out with a second version of a game.
So if I could attribute to anything, the gameplay feels smoother.
Okay.
I think part of the issue with the first one is there became such a skill gap, because if you could figure out, like, you had these guys that were figuring out like super wacky portal techniques and shit like that, where they've really made it to, hey, your portals can go on specific surfaces, and you can still be fun with it, but it's not like, oh my god, I got this guy hitting me with a peek from across the map in a portal that I can half see.
Right.
It's become more user friendly.
Okay.
I do like they've kind of added some class setup to it now, where like there's as of right now there's 3 different classes to it that each kind of do something different, like a tank, a healer, and then movement. Um, Guns are separate based on the character, which I didn't think I would like, but I actually do. Um, I mean, no, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and as I played it, I kept just feeling that it was a more updated version of the first one,
Okay.
that I could definitely tell time was taken in to adjust certain things that were wrong in the first one to make them better. I think
Sure.
there was a lot of people shitting on it to start with, as it is every game because it's gaming. I don't understand it. I said people were saying that they didn't like that they dumbed it down for the portals. I think the portals are still just as useful and used just as much. Um, but you don't need to know every hidden strat on the portal to win a game.
Right.
So I give it a solid 8 for as far as FPS games are right now. It's very refreshing and very fun. I've hooked 3 people into it so far that didn't think they'd give a shit about it, and so when I can do that, something's right with it. So, all right,
Ooh.
let's talk about wrestling.
Yes.
Lots to cover. We have 4 pay-per-views, because Backlash didn't get covered. Backlash, Saturday Night Main Event, Battlegrounds, and All In.
No, Double or Nothing.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. Double or Nothing.
Yeah. Let's talk. Well, we can also talk about the fact that WWE definitely sees AEW as competition and is constantly booking random shows.
What do you mean?
To counteract.
Those are total uncoincidental events.
Oh no, sorry. The real competition is Beyonce.
Yeah.
Because for some dumb fuck cosmic reason, your second all women event is going head to head with Beyonce across the street, which is going to be a fun thing for everyone leaving that show. I can only imagine the headache traffic will be in downtown fucking Atlanta.
Yeah.
I can make a correlation of sorts. So, for anybody that doesn't know, or maybe even slightly knows, in Queens, there is a section, kind of same thing with Philly, set up kind of the same way, where all 3 of their major sports stadiums are like right next to each other.
Yep.
So, like, the football field, the baseball field, and the basketball stadium are all next to each other.
Yeah.
Not that they coincide that often, but like for Queens, City Field, or when it used to be Shea Stadium where the Mets play, the US Open is like right there. The Arthur Ashe Stadium is right there across the parking lot. So for anybody, Arthur Ashe, that's where AEW's had
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam. Yeah, I just knew it was the September event, and I couldn't remember the name of it.
Arthur
But
S.
so
Grand Slam tennis.
yeah. So the tennis stadium is right there, and then City Field's like right here. So like when they have events at the same time, that I mean, it's already a nightmare just leaving a Mets game. If you're just going to the Mets game, because that's 45 to 50,000 people
Being
trying to leave at
disappointed.
once. Now, fuck off. God.
Got him.
I hate every team you root for. Anyway, but yeah, no, having that. So I can't imagine what a nightmare that would be for the people going to like trying to leave either of those events if they're letting out around the same time. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or even trying to get in, like just especially for like a Beyonce concert. I mean, that's
So you're gonna be packed.
that's a lot.
Oh, the Beyonce crowd is going to be larger than the WWE
No,
crowd.
of course, I'm just saying, but having that many more people packed in like right there in that same area
Yes.
is rough.
So that along with Great American, what is it? NXT Great American Bash
Yeah.
is counteracting AEW All In the same night.
Yeah, I mean we all know that All In's gonna have a much bigger.
Yeah. Anything
Yeah.
to kind of slowly kill the pay-per-view buys. But also just no. If I just don't get it. Like,
So it's an interesting transition. I feel like we're seeing ourselves in between the two companies, because I would have said a few years ago that it would have been opposite, and what I mean by that is I'm really starting to notice with WWE, especially after the purchase of AAA, with their kind of TNA relationship, with their stuff that's going on in Japan, that
Europe.
they're trying to buy new sources to bring in athletes.
Yes.
Whereas AEW now has kind of flipped, where we saw that for a while with them with Ring of Honor, and then kind of their partnership with TNA and a few others, that it's almost like they're now doubling down on their internal wrestlers. They're Swerve Stricklands, they're Adam Pages, they're Ospreys. And it's such a weird dynamic, because I feel like it worked for WWE when it was really focusing on that, bringing the NXT up and really pumping out their own talent, not so much fixating on other talents. That it's working for AEW, in my opinion. That I'm enjoying it now more. Not 100%, but I feel like it was more. I'm enjoying that more than I am watching them just pipe in people from other shows to raise their product.
But
My
they
only
still are.
yeah.
Because AEW has their Mexico show,
Yep.
which kind of pushed WWE to counter react by personal and AAA. Because if it wasn't for the CMLL partnership with AEW, I don't think WWE would have
Wouldn't even
bought
bother with
AAA. Yeah,
Right.
we just kept moving. But it's
The only
just,
other thing. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
it feels like they're trying to bottleneck the talent AEW could potentially get
Yeah.
by placing themselves at the forefront. Like, hey, it's WWE. You're signing for the branding, not like they're gonna use you,
Yeah.
sadly, and
You're
that's starting to become a
associated.
case. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Semi hot take, I guess. I think that's actually good for AEW. That they're
Yeah.
not just gonna keep like it. It makes them focus on who they have there now,
Yeah.
as opposed to relying on the constant debuts, returns, special appearances, this, that, and the third. Like I think that that's something they need to focus on, to where, to an extent, for WWE, because it's so foreign for WWE people. Like if you've only been used to WWE and like you don't watch any AEW, you don't watch any other company, right? Um, collaboration is so new that it kind of feels cool to see that happen. Like the TNA thing, I think to me is mind blowing as a fan of WWE for 30 some odd years.
Yeah.
Like, I know they did it in the mid 90s. They had the NWA partnership, and even then it wasn't like a huge partnership. And they had, I think it was AAA. I don't remember. It might have been AAA back in the 90s, and they had a lot of the guys from Mexico come over and do, their kind of answer to the cruiserweight division when they started doing the light heavyweight division and all that stuff. And but I mean, if you've been watching for the past, 20 something years, they haven't even acknowledged other companies, let alone now they're acknowledging all the outside companies. They're recognizing former TNA champions in WWE. They were, and like all of these things are happening. So it's beneficial to both in a way. I would only combat the other thing of homegrown talent for AEW. They don't really have full on homegrown. I mean, your Ospreys,
Yeah.
like all of these guys have made names for themselves outside of AEW, and that's not a knock. Like AEW is still a baby of a company compared to all of these other places.
At this point, what is homegrown talent?
Right. I mean, that's like hey, you trained them from the ground. Like you could say the NXT kids that weren't from the indies,
Yeah.
a lot of that is like a
Your
homegrown talent. Or like
Roman Reigns is a homegrown talent.
right.
Yeah.
I would even say to an extent, depending on how long they were on the indies, like if you only picked them up like a year or two into their indies, because that's not a lot of time in wrestling to like spend. Oh yeah, they've been working indies for 2 years. That's not really a lot when you consider how long it kind of takes people to progress, and some people progress better than others, and some don't.
Yeah.
Um, a Brian Danielson on the indies for 2 years is not the same as and Braun's great, but like a Braun Breaker kind of like
Yeah.
dude's a freak, and he picked it up really well, and obviously he has the family history of it. But like not everybody's gonna kind of get it right away.
Yeah.
So again, it's not a knock on them. I would just say that they don't technically have a lot of homegrown talent.
Homegrown's not probably exactly what I meant. Is more
Right.
just
Okay.
more of just, instead of kind of like you said, these constant shock and awes of the CM Punks coming in and doing their thing, or
Which
the
was
Brian.
great for them, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just instead of doing that every time, going, okay, we have stars here that people like to see. Let's invest more into that instead of trying to pull people from other companies and give this big shock. Hey, look at this guy's here now. And yeah, that's more, not so much the homegrown part of it, but just doubling down on your own product instead of constantly
Right.
looking for other product to bring in.
Speaking of, I want to nitpick something. Who's the girl that attacked Jamie Hayter?
Oh, fuck! I can't pronounce her name.
Okay.
She's from Stardom.
Yes.
This is a new debut.
Right. And I'm cool with that. I don't like the way they did it.
Yes.
They do the
I don't like
blackout thing, the typical AEW black the lights out all of a sudden, and she was already like on the ground.
Jamie Hayter's already knocked out, and it's like they should have
She's
just
standing over her. But
yeah,
then
they
they
should have let
just
her
went,
come out.
"Oh, this is so and so from Stardom. Oh, by the way, and then next week we're doing this." And I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?
Like,
Like this girl got nothing."
yeah, no. Have her come out.
Yeah. Do something.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that part either.
Right. That's because I was like, "Oh, that's cool, like a new debut." Like they have somebody for her to feud with, like they bringing this girl in. I don't know much about her. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of her stuff. Maybe I did. I maybe seen like one or two things and not like
Yeah.
a full, like, you know what I mean? Um, but I hated that. I hated that so much. Because it was like, all right, Jamie Hayter's going to address like what her future is. And then she got like half a word in, lights went out. I don't know if you saw this on it. That's why
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
recapping for
No.
you.
Yeah.
Lights went out. Lights come back on. Chick's just standing there. And like, if you have no idea who she is, you're like, okay,
What the hell
who
happened?
the fuck
Who's
is
this
this?
fan?
Right. And then like Hater's already
Technically,
on the ground.
she's been like hinted at.
Sure.
weirdly, because her whole gimmick is toxic. She's the toxic spider. So there have been like spiders crawling on the screen during
Okay.
Dynamite shows,
Which is dope if they would have paid
they
it
don't
off
address
better.
they don't address it
Yeah.
either.
Right. And
So
that's where the problem lays, is where it's like, hey, you had this opportunity. Try to get it to refocus.
yeah,
But yeah, you had this awesome opportunity, like, because that sounds great.
yeah,
Allude to her coming, but then do more than like, oh my god, this is so and so. She was just in Stardom. She attacked Jamie Hayter. By the way, we're doing this thing tomorrow, next week. Blah 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 blah.
so
Yeah, I mean it's. Yeah, you're good. You're good. I'm just trying to fill time here. I did see clips of it, and I was as someone that doesn't follow like Stardom as heavy. I did go cool. I don't know who the fuck this is, but cool.
yeah.
Like I'm sure somebody somewhere is crazy excited.
Did you
Yeah,
see it?
that's my that is my complaint with AEW's and WWE kind of too, because they've done it a few times where I'm like you, I wanna know who this person is. You know, make a bigger deal about it. A
Okay.
Blackout is getting kind of old. Hit some ring music or something. Like let's.
Well, they did do the ring music, and they released it fairly quickly. But what I would compare her debut to is Zarya
Yeah,
from NXT. It's funny enough, both being Australian from
yeah.
who spent some time in Japan. Like, kind of funny how they kind of debuted in the same way. And Zarya has done fuck. She has been lesbian.
Yeah,
Her whole gimmick has now become lesbian to Sol Ruka.
like I want to fuck Sol Ruka. That's my gimmick.
I mean,
Like,
Which,
all right, cool.
I mean,
I
we've
Like I
done
get
understand.
this.
it.
I relate.
We've done this before with Tony Storm and Mariah May,
Yeah,
which is kind of funny.
that's still
The
like
amount of lesbian story
that's still her
in
main.
well, actually, Tony Storm just wants to fuck every
Yeah, every
woman on the
woman.
roster. She wants to fit the money train in her Tony tunnel.
Jesus Christ.
That's basically
I
what
know.
I know.
Shit that she says, man.
My buddy was like, she's starting to sound like the succulent Chinese mule guy, and I was just like, yeah, I can see it.
like it's crazy.
Is this what I'm being arrested for? Enjoying it.
You know your judo quite well.
Are you? Oh, I see you in there. Are you there? Are you ready to receive my penis?
Okay, it's Tekla. That's how you pronounce her name.
Okay,
The
yeah.
H is silent.
They said it like really quick. Again, it all happened. I mean, I'm
Fast.
making it sound like this took 5 to 10 minutes. This took less than 2 minutes. Between her, the lights going out, her appearing, Jamie Hayter on the ground, and them cutting to the next segment
Yeah.
was less than 2 minutes. And that's why I was like, man, that kind of sucks. Like I would be really disappointed if that was my debut. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying everybody has to have like an amazing holy shit moment debut, but like we can do
Something.
better than that.
Give me at least 5 minutes.
Like yeah. And like more than just the announcer said because now like if you're in the crowd
Yeah.
and
It's
they
just like
don't do any
a
like
fan ran in here and beat the shit out of her. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my god, the lights went out. Oh my god, I don't know who that is. Cut to the next segment on the screen, and you're like, wait, what's going on? Who the fuck was that though? Like, do you know who I don't know who that was. Like, yeah, it's
should we call security?
yeah. And that's, again, like if they do something like again, have a video package, do whatever. I know, I've caught shit in the past, and well, I'm not as big on Twitter, but like Ice Cube Jr., as they like to call him, caught shit for like saying, "Hey, some video package." Like he pretty much said what I said, just he didn't
Yeah.
hear me say it, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But I'm saying like we've had this conversation years ago, where it's like I just kind of wish they would do a better presentation of, hey, for those that don't have their virginity and live at home and don't have a job, like, here's who this person is, so you know what to expect or what's happening. Like, again, and I'm being a dick about it, but
Hey,
like,
if you
it's
don't have time to watch every single wrestling faction TV show and
you're not a real fan.
and you're not at least at 5 indie shows a week, why are you even fucking bothering with it?
But also, I get like, you don't want to spoil it. You kind of don't want to spoil what she'll be like before her debut.
Oh, sure, but
But
like,
it comes at a double-edged sword.
Just let me know who she is.
Yeah.
well, because I feel the same way when they like WWE, for example, announces returns ahead of time instead of letting us be surprised.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to be surprised. Now, when it's a return, that's one thing, right? Because like, we already know who this person is.
Yeah.
But like a debut, kind of, sometimes it makes a little bit more sense to be like, hey, this person's coming, blah, 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 blah. Like those vignettes of like so-and-so's coming, arriving soon, blah, blah, blah. All the shit they did with even like Aleister Black, where they were like teasing that, and he's been on TV before. Them doing the stuff for Penta or Ray Phoenix, like kind of teasing the debut of somebody that they haven't seen on TV. That's fine.
I thought they did Russo's really well, because like I was surprised by that, even knowing that he had been released. Obviously, like it had been in the pipeline that he at some point was going to come back, but like randomly on a fucking.
I think they announced him getting signed Sunday and he showed up Monday, kind of thing, or they announced it like Monday morning or something, and then
I think Big E said something, and that's kind of how it happened.
Because I remember seeing it, I was like, oh shit, I knew they had talked about it, but I wasn't sure when I'd actually see him on WWE programming,
right?
Which unfortunately, if they're not careful, they're gonna really choke this for him.
Immediate.
You bring him back, have him beat the shit out of some people to like do whatever,
Which
it's got to turn into
I think is I'm good with that.
I was almost expecting it to turn into a Sheamus heel turn, because I was like, oh shit, are they gonna
kick the shit out of
buddies, right? Yeah,
kick the shit out
I was like, oh, is he coming down to like pretend to fucking save him and then
we're reforming the League of Nations?
Oh god.
They just need to wait to get back from the table. Yeah, come on, buddy.
Wade is there. Alberto's technically kind of signed.
Technically,
I mean, we could find a new guy. We don't need him.
Well, you're still missing one person.
Dominic Mysterio. There you go. There's your kind of Latino.
I mean, they could just get Drew, like somebody else.
Yeah.
Like it's
go Scottish instead.
Do the WWE 12 storyline, the UK whatever storyline, and get like William Regal to show up, and because wasn't that the team? It was like Drew, Sheamus, Wade, and Regal instead of like Del Rio and Rusev.
Isn't that where like
I think that's where they got it from.
Sheamus had all the belts.
Yes, they like brought back the European Championship and like, which was a dope title.
I missed that belt. Yeah, I missed that belt.
Man.
Let's see.
Sorry, I've derailed us.
No, you're fine. It's always fine with me.
Which is nice, because the thought of saying the same thing I said 2 weeks ago.
Hey, it's fine. You don't remember what you said.
No, I don't. I really don't.
So Backlash from like 4 weeks ago.
Backlash. Sorry.
Hey, that happened, huh?
Yeah, it was sure something, and nothing really happened.
What was that card? What was the main event of Backlash?
Cena and Orton.
Oh yeah, because that's St. Louis.
With a shitty fucking end. The best part of that match was him just RKOing every single fucking suit and tie that he could find.
Yes.
Yeah,
so I mean, the quick rundown: Jacob Fatu retained against LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. We had the arrival of the man they used to call Jeff Cobb,
Mateo.
Isn't that how they like said it? He used to be called Jeff Cobb. I forgot how they did.
No, they directly call him Jeff Cobb, and then the next week, it's JC.
Because KJ and I had an argument about this because
Yeah.
not argument, but like I go, yeah, like it's super weird that they like name drop him as Jeff Cobb and then proceed to change his name in his first match.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
So weird. I don't know why they did that.
Lyra
Penta
defended against Becky
and
for the
a terrible finish.
Intercontinental.
A terrible
Yeah.
finish. Fucking manhandle slam, oops a daisy, no, just kidding, into a fucking roll up that she fucking reverses.
Dom beat Penta due to lots of
Grande
outside
Americano interference.
Yeah. Gunta beat Pat McAfee, which I mean did what it was supposed to do. You know, he beat the piss out of him and did that. And then for almost 28 minutes, we had John Cena and Randy Orton, which was something.
Is this worse than the greatest match of all time?
Yes.
Onyx, please remember what I'm referring to.
Greatest match of all time.
Yes.
The greatest wrestling match of all time.
This is a pandemic.
Because you know what? Other than the fact that it was called the greatest wrestling match of all time, it was actually a pretty solid match. It was just like obviously kind of fuck, what's the word for those matches?
Cinematic?
Cinematic. It was obviously like semi-cinematic. Are you really not remembering this match?
It's Edge versus Randy Orton.
During the pandemic.
In the Performance Center.
Okay.
I mean, I booked it as the greatest wrestling match of all time.
See, I was in kind of a lull during COVID where I didn't really catch a lot of it.
I think this was the match where Randy Orton had the fucking night vision goggles.
What
was that? I thought that was the last man standing match.
Maybe
night vision. The fuck?
Yeah, there's a match where Randy Orton has night vision goggles
because he's a viper. He sees it in the dark.
Yeah, no, because I don't think this had like any outside interference. This didn't have any like.
No, it also had the Benoit spot.
Oh, that was the last man standing match.
What, he committed 2 murders and killed himself?
No, he choked
because they used the weight machine to choke.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
like everyone went, "Oh no, there's a bad idea." That was a bad idea. Who the fuck greenlit that?
Yeah, that was
like everyone
was
collectively
rough.
went, "Yikers!"
Yeah, there was a sudden throughout the.
Don't get me wrong. There's obviously a large section of fans that didn't catch that, like didn't know. But like,
yeah, but once it was,
if you've been watching wrestling for that long, you're like, oh no. Because I watched that shit live and went, oh my god.
Oh no, brother.
That was.
It's a no for me.
I don't want to say startling because that makes me sound like a bitch, but like, you know, it was just one of those, like, I was really taken aback because I was like, I can't believe they actually fucking did that. Like, that's insane. You know, this is a guy they haven't mentioned in, well, at this point, you know, 13 years, right?
Yeah.
So, like, for obvious reasons. Again, we've had that conversation before, but like, yeah. Hold on, let me see.
Just stealing spots.
The greatest wrestling.
Thanks, KJ. That was the reaction I was hoping for.
No,
like I remember their feud. I just don't remember it being like labeled as like the greatest match of all time.
Yeah. So it was at Backlash.
Ironic.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, it was 2020 Backlash.
Was it a bad match?
It really wasn't. It was a pretty good. I mean, obviously, it's not the greatest wrestling match ever.
Yeah.
But it was a solid match. But it was also like cinematic at times. And like they had Charles Robinson in like the old school button up with the bow tie and shit. Like, Yeah, I'm trying to look at.
Because this was like, didn't he like DDT Beth Phoenix into a fucking chair or something, or concerto her or some shit?
Yes, at some point. I know he RKO'd her. She like kicked him. He like half sold it and then RKO'd her, and then yeah. I'm not watching the full match. It was 53 minutes. Fuck that. That's
God damn.
yeah, it was long. It was really long, but it was. I mean, it was a solid match. Again, especially for that time, it just wasn't what they built. I don't know why they built it that way. Like I didn't know. It didn't make sense
Yeah.
because they had just had like a last man standing match. So like, how did we get into this weird gimmicky like, oh, this is the greatest wrestling match ever? You're like, what? These guys were just trying to kill each other. They just did a Benoit spot a month before this. Like, what are we doing?
Where do we go from there? No, I mean, it was a very, from what I wanted of the match, it was very lackluster. But they're also, I mean, Cena's also not wrestling like he used to. They can't do shit like they used to, or, my expectations of a early 2000s Randy Orton John Cena match probably should have been.
They didn't have good matches then.
They did too.
No, they didn't.
Don't start that shit. Don't be one of them
They
fucking
did.
haters. They absolutely did.
No, they didn't.
They had
They
banger
had a good I
matches.
Quit match. That's about it.
They had banger matches.
Okay.
Don't be that guy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're still on Backlash.
I mean, we don't have to be. We can move in.
It's over now. I mean, it led to the post game interviews. That's what I'm calling them. I know
Post game interviews.
Yeah, the post game conferences.
The totally not staged post game interviews.
Yeah, led to R-Truth getting
put through
the table, and then that led up to the.
And
Saturday
now we're
night.
at Saturday Night Main Event.
Well, we still got to touch on Double or Nothing, and wait, what came?
Saturday Night Main Event came first.
No. What was after Backlash?
Backlash, Saturday Night Main Event.
No. What was the AEW show?
Double or Nothing.
Oh,
old man.
Why did I think there were
pills,
two?
bro.
Why did I think there were two shows in like
no
that?
Battleground.
Okay. No. I was thinking there was two AEW shows.
No, because they had because like Revolution and Double or Nothing. Revolution was months ago.
Yeah. Okay. It's been a long. Again, I work in sales, and Memorial Day, like it's just not fun. I worked a lot. I'm tired. I apologize.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
Yeah, no, because they had Dynasty in April.
Okay, yeah, that's where my brain went.
That was in Philly.
Philly.
All right, because I have Double or Nothing up here twice. I don't need that.
All right. So then there would be Saturday Night Main Event, which was something.
It happened.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was better than Backlash.
Yes.
Oddly enough, I really liked although the build for it was kind of mid, the Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre steel cage match. I am still a Damian Priest fan, and I know people are tired of them pushing him in whatever degree, but I still like him.
It's not that people were no. It's not that people are tired of him getting pushed. It's just he was portrayed as such a geek with the fucking Judgment Day that no one believes him as a high tier wrestler. Even when he was champion, it was just for Judgment Day. It was just leading to the Judgment Day breakup.
Yeah.
So it's like, why bother? Why should I get invested in him when they've shown they don't really care about? He's like Dolph Ziggler getting the World Heavyweight Championship. He held a world title.
I mean, we were happy for that, and then he
Yeah,
he
and
got that
then
concussion, and it kind of fucked him. But
You know who I want back in WWE? This is unrelated.
Juan Cena.
No, well, yes.
Juan Cena made a cameo
Yeah.
tonight.
Jesus.
No, it's just
I want Mr. Kennedy back.
no.
Bring me
oh,
Mr.
did you see
Kennedy.
his
Yeah,
interview pop up with? Yeah.
It's a great interview. I loved it.
Speaking of interviews with people that I'm intrigued to see come back. Where the fuck is Omos?
He's in Japan.
No, he's not.
Is he not
He's
anymore?
not.
I thought that's
No.
No, he did
It-
that for a little bit, and now he's
okay,
back.
so no,
He's
no,
back in
because
Canada.
because they did that fucking Nick Khan put his fucking foot in his mouth and said, "Oh, we bring talent in that we want to use. We don't bench people." Omos was Noah Tag Champion in Japan. They immediately brought him back to the States for fuck all, made him drop the belt. Like
Because they
he
were
had
going
to
to do
vacate
something with him, and then
and did
did
nothing.
nothing with him. Yeah,
So
and
he's
that's the
been
thing because he
doing
got over in Japan,
yeah.
which is
They
also
could have,
funny because he was kind of working the same exact way, and
but
then
in
everybody was
Japan
like,
he's a special case.
right. And I'm not knocking that. Like, I'm not knocking Japan for him being over there. I'm knocking the people online who are like, Omos is so much more over in Japan. Like, this dude's improved greatly. And I'm like, he
He
looks like
did
he's
the
working
same
the
thing.
same he did 8 months ago. And that's not a knock on him either. But like, don't just say because he's over in Japan that all of a sudden he was good when you were shitting on him for a year and a half. Like,
yeah.
but also, like, he clearly got over in Japan. They went, "Oh shit, let's put him back on TV.
And then
Let's
didn't.
bring him home." And then went, "Never mind." Like, what the fuck is that?
Fucking bullshit.
And he's like such a nice guy.
Yeah, every interview I see, I'm just like, oh, that's a shame.
Like, there are people you want to win in life because you like see them and you're like, wow, he just seems like such a wonderful human being. We've had this conversation with Austin Theory before. We've had this conversation about Cross before. Like,
Yeah.
these people who just seem like just awesome people that you'd be like, I want to have a beer with that guy or like just hang out with that, like whatever.
Uh, The
You want
cross
success for
the
those
cross push
people.
is coming, I'm calling it.
No, well, yeah. I think they're fucking with us a little further because it's a weird way that it works in the sense of like we're gonna purposely not push this guy, and it's gonna piss you off further. And then it's like when he does get that push, you guys are gonna blow up. And I just hope that they don't wait too long.
Yeah. Especially with his t-shirt sales killing it right now.
I was gonna say because I don't know if he's still number one, but he was the number one merch for like
I think
weeks.
oddly enough, I think it was the Ron Cena shirts
Oh,
beat
that's
him
fun.
for like a week now. Now, you
Yeah.
know, that whole shit happened.
I mean, but his shirts, the Judgment Day shirts he had fucking blew up pretty quick too. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, so that makes sense.
I did like the Cena Truth match. It was fun. I liked Cena letting him 100% do the entire Cena bit, AA included.
Yeah.
But to no one's surprise, obviously Cena pulled the win out. And then tried to screw Jay in his match. And now we're doing some super weird fucking John Cena, Logan Paul versus Cody
So
Rhodes.
this is supposed to take place. Logan Paul is taking the place of Travis Scott.
Thank
Is what the
God.
report
You know
is.
what? I never
Which,
thought
yeah.
for once in my life I'd go, thank God Logan Paul's in
Logan.
this match.
So apparently there's some heat on Travis Scott for allegedly no showing or being very flaky.
Shocker.
So they audible to Logan Paul because it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me that the two best wrestlers in this match are not the champions in this match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I like how
I
you
mean-
were gonna try and defend something. I'm not even 100% sure which
I
you
like
were gonna
Jey
defend.
Uso. I think
Yeah,
Jey Uso is
but-
overhated for his talent in the ring.
But do you think he's a better wrestler than Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes?
I don't think so. Here's my
Out of
thing.
those four people, how would you rank their
Here's
wrestling
my
ability
thing
right
before I get into that. I don't think Logan Paul is as good as he is portrayed. I think he is an adequate wrestler that is paired with people that make him look even better.
Oh no, let me say this, clarify. When I say Logan Paul is a good wrestler, I mean he's a good worker. Could he lead a match? Fuck no. What I'm saying is, if you gave him the blueprint of a good match, he's going to give you a good match.
I think Jake.
Yeah, if you have the right like agent or the right like I know it's Gunther's gimmick, but like ring general, like somebody who's gonna put the match together, even like on the fly or whatever.
Jay is not that guy.
No.
I've never seen him
And
lead a match.
Logan's
I've
not
never
that guy. Like, but if you have the right people, it makes Logan look a lot better.
I would put him over Jay, but only slightly. I don't think he's that much
If you're
better
talking
than Jay.
pure in-ring talent, yes.
Like just ability and moveset wise, Logan edges out Jay in this scenario.
Logan Page, much better than Jey Uso. I say that because like 90% of his moves are ripped off.
It's just Hangman
Page, Diet Hangman Page.
Which is so crazy because they can't be further like personality wise.
Yeah,
yeah.
Those two guys are like, I'm pretty sure Hangman would just fucking hate them. Like
pretty sure he
outright.
does hate him.
Oh yeah. Hangman has a few lists.
I'm pretty sure
like,
most of the wrestling
list.
community absolutely hates Logan Paul.
I'm saying Hangman has a small list of people he just despises in the wrestling world. It's Logan Paul, CM Punk,
yeah,
and
full stop.
trying to think who. No, because there's got to be another person on that list.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna think of it, and it's gonna just hit me like a ton of fucking bricks. But Swerve, but
like not actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because then you can also
Kane.
put like MJF in there.
No, Kane.
Oh, right.
Forgot about that.
Wait, what?
Wait, you've never seen the fucking tweet from Adam Page?
No.
When Kane was on his not pro-abortion, anti-abortion bullshit.
Yeah.
Hangman tweeted out, "Just remember that this man has taken numerous chair shots to the head," and just tweeted a video of Kane getting shot in the head with chairs, like just constant headshot, and just like.
It's actually really funny.
It's weird because like, oh wait, no, that was Snitsky that punt kicked the baby. That's right.
Yeah.
I guess Snitsky's probably pro-abortion.
Hey, it was not his fault.
It's not his kid.
Yeah. You were not the father. Jesus. So off the rails.
I mean, Kane forcing a woman to have a child is actually on brand, so
yeah.
Sadly.
It's this Lita bit all over again.
Speaking of crazy things that just don't make sense, I have coworkers who are wrestling fans. One is like semi-aware of wrestling, but only like WWE. Both of them only WWE.
Okay,
right?
I was like, how are you a
I'm-
wrestling fan that's semi-aware of wrestling?
No, because I'm trying to get both of them to watch AEW, slowly but surely.
But they have, standards.
One of them didn't know who Shane McMahon was.
Just pissing off communities.
Oh, so they're like super new, or
he remembers it from like the Attitude Era. But when I'm like, Shane had a son, he's like, no, I thought he only had a daughter. I'm like, the Shane McMahon Vince only has one kid. I'm like, Shane, Like, who's Shane? Like, he thought it was a gimmick. I'm like, no, that's his actual kid. I was like, I was so confused by that.
I know he was gone for like 8 years or whatever it was,
Yeah,
but
but
like
His daddy didn't sell.
no, because he remembers Kurt putting him through a pane of glass.
oh yeah, so like if you were
But
watching
only
then, like
he knew
he
about the
really,
glass bit, but didn't know the specifics. I'm like,
I mean,
no,
former European champion Shane McMahon, like
former
Jesus.
greatest wrestler in the world. I'm not
greatest
doing all that.
in
Yeah,
the
best
best in the
wrestler in the
world.
world. Yeah, fucking trash. But yeah,
It's such a funny gimmick because you're like, I hate this so much, and like that was kind of the point, but like, stop
but
it.
talking to them is like giving me like new eyes when I see WWE fans. I'm like, you know what? I get it.
Put me through that pane of glass, you pussy.
Basically, he didn't know about that.
And then, that's something along the lines of what he said to Kurt, wasn't it? And then what he said, he's like,
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like just fucking do it,
just
or
do it.
yeah,
Because he kept hitting the glass and it was like it wouldn't break. So he's like, just fucking
because
do
he
it.
was like, we can't keep doing the spot, and he's like, we're fucking doing it. Like,
You're gonna put me through this.
listen, for as much as we give him shit, like, dude's psychotic
Yeah,
in like the best ways,
no,
because you're
that's
like,
daddy. That's daddy issues
right, but I mean, this
I'm gonna make
motherfucker
daddy
really put
proud.
himself through it
for his daddy.
And then still couldn't buy the company.
for daddy. Yeah.
Also, thanks to them, I refound what culture wrestling.
Oh, Jesus. Is that
Oh
still going on?
No. But I think
Okay.
they uploaded like 3 years ago. But
no,
it's
no,
just
they're still kind of around. They're just
uh,
not.
most of the people who are part of that initial thing are gone because they got bought out
Yeah, that's what I
because it's
thought it
Defiant
was.
Wrestling. But the random matches they had
Oh,
on
you're
there,
talking about what
what
culture
culture?
pro wrestling?
Yeah,
Oh,
the actual
I thought you
wrestling.
meant just the YouTube channel, and
Oh,
I was
the
like, no, they're
channel's
still
there.
around.
Yeah, the
Uh,
channel's there, but the wrestling company's gone. Kurt
yeah, that's
Angle
the
and
first time
Joe
I heard about Joe Hendry. Yeah,
Kurt Angle versus Joe Hendry.
yeah.
Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. Will Ospreay versus Gunther. Will Ospreay versus Rey Mysterio. Like the list of matches that are just like, why was this on
What
a random
culture?
YouTube? Yeah, they really did spend a lot of money.
Ah,
Del Rio
shit.
was part of that.
I'll have to go do some digging then, because I'd like to see
Like,
some of that. Yeah.
yeah, this is like very flippy Will Ospreay.
Yep.
Hmm.
Zack Sabre Jr. was part of it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this I forgot about this era of wrestling.
Yep.
Was that
Because he did
that was COVID time too, wasn't it? Or like beginning of COVID?
No, that was
no
pre-COVID.
Was it?
pre-COVID. Because this is when Rey Mysterio was still not part of WWE. Because he was surprised. He was
Mm.
like, wasn't Rey in WWE? Like, no, this is like post Lucha Underground being rated.
Yeah.
So
Rated.
so he was
Ugh.
yeah.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I evolved this really quick.
No, it's fine. Hey, I'm all about a
It's-
fucking
It wasn't me for once. I'm shocked.
evolution
I have
of.
I have random wrestling lore just constantly being unraveled.
Before we go any further, we got to
No.
pay respects. So we lost a wrestler, obviously, since the last time we recorded. Sabu passed away in somewhat mysterious kind of circumstances, from my understanding, that they're still trying to kind of figure out.
Well, not really. It's a legal thing. Basically, he's still married. Sabu was still married during the time of his passing. So to get an autopsy, you would need the wife's
Approval.
yes. She's in Japan right now, and she just doesn't want to deal with the bullshit. So that's what's holding that up. RVD kind of explained. RVD and Tommy Dreamer kind of explained that. But it was the Joey Janela match was his final match. It was a no rope barbed wire match.
In true fashion.
It was a fucking train wreck of a match. There was fear that Sabu was gonna no show.
In
And
true
then
Sabu fashion.
yeah, And then Joey Janela did a interview that ended up coming out after Sabu's passing, basically saying Sabu was hopped up on drugs to get through the match, which kind of tanked credibility. Where GCW basically had to say, "No, we would have canceled the match." Like, no, you didn't.
Wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Nobody thought
So
he was doing that sober.
it wasn't like it's not intoxicating. It's more of a
it's a pain medication regimen.
Yeah.
Make yourself feel good so you can get through the match. It's the same shit Kurt Angle did. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean, regardless of the circumstances, I always like Sabu growing up. You know, ECW OG right there. I did think with Paul Heyman being active right now, they would do something, let him do it because he did that for New Jack. You know, they let him do kind of a thing for New Jack, and no offense, I would put Sabu over
above
New Jack.
They let Sammy do it.
Yeah.
Did they?
Well, Sammy did a tribute. He did a chair spot.
Oh yes, I remember
he did a chair spot, and then he did the point, and
because I know in my hometown where they did the Raw taping for main event that had Karrion Kross. At the end, Karrion does the point. I don't know if it was on air when he did it, but you know, it was part of the celebration afterwards. But yeah, R.I.P. Sabu. That sucks. It always, especially as so, you know, we are all relatively older wrestling fans in the sense of how long we've watched. You know, I hate seeing Sabu and others that I enjoy passing away, but 'tis life. But you know, hope his wife, condolences to whoever. He's up there with the OG Sheik now. Had to explain that to somebody. No, not that Sheik. There was a Sheik before that Sheik. His uncle was like the OG Sheik.
Oh.
The Sheik before the Iron Sheik. I think he was just called the Sheik.
I met him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
He was at a signing it was like this big fair. It was SummerSlam 98. I joked before, I said Triple H hasn't been in a ladder match since 99. He hasn't been in a ladder match since 98 because I went to that SummerSlam. But there was like a festival in Brooklyn, and it was right after one of the ECW pay-per-views because I also met Bam Bam Bigelow, and he had just gotten the stitches in his head from one of the table spots.
Yeah.
But Sheik was there, and Bam Bam was there, and Terry Runnels was there. So I got pictures with all three of them. So that was dope.
I say the Sheik has still one of the most interesting match endings to one of his matches, and I think it was in Japan where they did the ropes on fire match, but it just caught the whole fucking ring on fire.
Yeah.
And this guy gets 3rd-degree burns and then still continues to start working the match on the outside like a fucking pro. just didn't give a shit.
That was nuts.
But yeah, so I just wanted to, before we get any further, just a little quick thing for that. All right, 4 more pay-per-views. We got what came first, Battleground or Double or Nothing, or was it the same day?
No, I think Battleground was Saturday and Double or Nothing was Sunday, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. No.
Well,
Battleground and Double or Nothing went on at the same time.
Oh yeah, they were both. Yeah,
I was right. Doesn't happen often. What do we want to talk about first?
Battleground sucked. All right, cool. Trick Williams is your new TNA champion.
I don't get that, man. I don't.
What?
I don't like Trick being TNA champion.
I like it.
I just not.
I'm okay with it if at some point somebody from TNA wins an NXT title.
They won't, but it is the AEW partnership all over again, where Kenny Omega was the NXT TNA champion, and then Christian Cage, a non-TNA wrestler,
won it,
beat Kenny Omega for the belt.
Yeah, see now if Trick loses the title to somebody in NXT, then I would agree with you.
He probably
if they because like Trick's already defending it against Santana. So I'm like, okay, so we're still keeping it in the TNA. Like I do appreciate that they're going to TNA and like TNA's coming. Like I do appreciate that they're both showing up on each other's programming.
Yeah.
Because that does make me feel better that it's not just like one person showing up. Like Kenny was the only person that was really showing up to TNA. And it was like, okay, if we're going to do this, we should do this a little bit better. I'm hoping, again, fingers crossed. I'm not saying that this is already better, but like it has a chance to go that route where like the AEW TNA partnership just was like severely one sided. And you're like, I really hope that this is not continuing to be the case. I mean, obviously, Joe Hendry has been on WWE, yes. On WWE, he was on WrestleMania. I mean, he got a WrestleMania match. So like it's there. Like I said, I mean, if somebody from NXT like drops their title to somebody from TNA, even if one of the women dropped to like one of the knockouts or something, you know what I mean? Like just something where it's like, okay, cool. Like we got to do this. We're commingling properly. One of the fun things is Ariana Grace gets to work with her dad in a tag match. Like that's cool.
Yeah. Was a great match too.
You know, I guess they found somewhere for Nikita Lyons to be
involved.
Well, she was also on TNA, but so yeah, I mean some of the stuff, I mean most of this is, well, that's not true. Stephanie Vaquer, Jordan Grace was a good match. They're both going up to the main roster. I don't know if we touched on that as we were recording or not.
Not on recording yet.
Stephanie Vaquer going to Raw, Jordan Grace going to SmackDown, right? That's what you said, KJ. I think I know Stephanie Vaquer is going to Raw. I just didn't see the thing for Jordan Grace.
I want to say that is the case from what I remember.
It would make sense.
Which a lot of women come into the main roster because we had Julia go to SmackDown, and then Roxanne went to Raw.
Yeah,
they're cutting everybody, and then Evolution is coming up, so they need They need to show off the women they have on the roster.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, of all the people that have come, like Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Jordan Grace, and Roxanne are all main roster ready to me. So, like, I thought it was odd that Jordan Grace even went to NXT in the first place.
Yeah, you and I both called that she was going to go straight to.
I thought she was going to go straight to either Raw or SmackDown. I mean, she was only in NXT for like a month or two, so it's not even like she was there long enough to do much. I just thought it was odd. Like she just had that fucking Royal Rumble appearance. Like it just made sense. But you know, you had Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan, who I like both of them. I mean,
Snatcher.
The 6-man tag match was there. And you know what it is? I don't dislike Hank and Tank from what I've seen of them. They're actually kind of fun, but it was just there.
Yeah.
Stax Lorenzo and Tony D'Angelo.
D'Angelo losing that was not in my card. I definitely thought he would win, but
I guess they want to
push him a little bit.
Kind of push Stax a little bit more.
But she looked good.
Obafemi, yeah. Obafemi and Miles Bourne was there.
The lead up to that I didn't care for.
I think it's tough because he's deaf.
Yeah.
It's tough because like, you know, it's just harder for him to connect because like, you know, the whole point of like promos is connecting with the crowd, and it's hard for him because like he can pick up on them cheering, but like he can't really hear.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on him.
And also, like, that being the main joke in every single fucking heel promo against him kind of gets old after a while.
Yeah.
Like, be creative, you know? Let's let's not always have to go for the lowest hanging fruit.
Also, I will say it is interesting that the main event was the TNA title.
Oh yeah,
The
because
only
it was
reason
coming back.
because Trick was winning.
Yeah.
Uh,
And Trick and Joe Hendry are
Bigger names,
arguably
than
bigger
Oba.
than Obafemi, and Oba is on his way up there for sure. But like Miles Bourne is not really up there. You could
Yeah.
even argue that Stephanie and Jordan could have went after Oba and Miles, but and they could have even main evented because both of those women are insanely talented. So yeah, I mean that happened. It was an okay show. It wasn't terrible. It was better than Saturday night's main event. It was better than Backlash.
way better Backlash.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
kind of in that post WrestleMania lull for me as far as pay-per-views. All the build up to WrestleMania, and then just kind of it's a lot of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks as far as pay-per-view matches and promos go.
Yeah, so I mean we can bounce over to Double or Nothing now. I don't know if you wanna lead
Let's
the
see.
charge here.
Yeah, go ahead, AEW
Starting-
guy.
Yeah. Most important matches of the night were the Owen Hart finals, with the opening and ending matches being Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter opening the show, setting the pace.
Oh right,
With-
those were pre-shows. Sorry, I was looking at the match list and
Oh no, I don't
No.
count the pre-show. Yeah.
yeah.
With Mercedes Moné winning surprisingly with a roll up with a small package, to become
Most devastating
Mercedes
move in all of wrestling.
Mercedes 4 belts again, even though one doesn't really count. Actually,
Yeah.
2 don't count, but that's not the point.
There's 4 of
Because
them.
one is an undisputed title, which is 2 belts, but technically 1 title.
She's gonna wrestle for Rock's Muhammad Ali, or yeah, it was Muhammad Ali belt.
Yeah. I don't remember the match order because it's been like a week.
I could give you the match order if you want.
Okay. Next would be the
FTR.
FTR versus
Nigel McGuinness.
Yep.
Daniel
McGuinness
Garcia.
and it's not a match.
I'm slowly falling out with FTR. I feel like every match I see them in, I get less and less going,
I think we've had this conversation before. I think the biggest problem is because you didn't watch NXT, like Black and Gold NXT. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm losing faith. I think a lot of people are kind of falling out of love with them a little bit, but they had so much good faith from NXT that like it's hard to watch them kind of just exist.
Yeah.
And after, I mean, and part of it was the 4 Young Bucks matches that didn't need to be 4 matches. So yeah, I know what you mean though. Like it is rough.
As like, and I enjoy them, but it's just like you said, between the Young Bucks stuff and just a lot of the stuff recently where I'm just like,
Well, they're kind of just coasting until Cope gets back. Cause what? Not All In, but All Out is in Canada, and most people are suspecting like that's gonna be the FTR versus Cope and Christian match. So for right now, they're just kind of coasting.
Yeah,
they're coping.
Yeah. Next match, I'm gonna take a wild stab and go Hurt Syndicate versus some
Ricochet.
Ricochet and Mark Briscoe.
The stretcher match.
Yep.
Which was not a stretcher match.
No, it wasn't.
It was an ambulance match.
Ambulance.
Which they did that only as a way to have that ambulance there for later that night.
Hey, 2 for 1.
Yeah, solid match. Mark Briscoe bled like nobody's business. The Mr. Clean spot was kind of goofy and but funny.
Yeah.
All in all, solid match. Ricochet is definitely doing better heel work than he ever did face work in WWE.
Yep.
Low bar.
Really, extremely low. That's not the point.
I agree, but that bar is also like on the floor. So
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's good for him to show off like character.
yeah.
Like he can do more than just be the superhero for kids.
Yep.
So then we have the Sons of Texas versus Hurt Syndicate.
Sons of Texas is just a
Yeah.
hell of a crew.
It was an okay tag match for the Hurt Syndicate, not their best match. It
See,
it could have
I
been on
didn't catch this one. This was one that I didn't get to catch.
it could have been on Dynamite for all I care. It's just sowing some seeds of doubt between Bobby and MJF. Slowly, like, all right, cool, whatever.
It's another one of those where I feel like they
They
there's
needed a match
there's still stories to tell, but they did drag that, like him joining
way too
a
long.
little longer than, and I think that's like we've had this conversation. That's kind of a theme for them where they like kind of drag stuff. I mean, we can talk about the whole Death Riders thing till we're blue in the face,
Yeah,
but yeah. So after that match was
Okada
Okada.
versus Bailey,
Yep.
which solid match. Again, Speedball works good. Okada works good. So solid, great to borderline great match.
Yeah.
You couldn't get a bad match out of those two. Just gonna rejoin real quick. Whatever. Solid match. Couldn't ask for anything different. Again, coasting until we get to the all-in match of Kenny versus Okada.
Yep.
So, let's see. This one they do the AEW Women's Title.
Yeah.
Thomas Tony Storm versus Mira Shirakawa, doing a rematch of their Forbidden Door from last year.
Yes.
Was it last year or 2 years ago? No, I think
Had
it
to be
was
last year
Yeah,
because they didn't do Stardom
that's right. Yeah.
the year before. Again, okay
I
match.
mean, I'm always
Man.
happy when Mina Shirakawa was on my TV.
Yep. Like, great match. And it with a hot lesbian action.
Yep.
Nah. Sorry, if Eric
You
Bischoff was here, he'll be giving that 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting that now with Anna Jay and Harley Cameron anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Um
Well, Harley's gonna be off TV for a little bit.
Yeah.
She got injured during the pre-show, and then they gave her a broken nose spot on Dynamite just to write her off.
Right.
So, it's okay. Setting up for the Tony versus Mercedes match,
Which can be 5 belts.
which will probably be good.
I would hope and also assume so.
Yeah, for all the hype that they're building up to, and this was the one
It
match
kind of
Mercedes
has to
wanted.
be, yeah.
Yeah, she's selling this match as one. It has to be great. So, let's see. Are we at Anarchy at the
We
end?
sure are.
We sure are.
Let's
Yep.
fucking go. First of all, fuck the Death Riders. Don't care. The story's way too long. The story's convoluted. I don't care about any of that shit. What I do care about is just fucking sicko wrestling.
Sick.
I don't care. It's convoluted. It's overly bloody, but it's fucking fun.
This was one of the first times I've actually enjoyed the stapler spot. Of
It's
just
just
the
of
best
Swerve
part.
just
He just runs to hit that kick and just goes and just
just
nails him out of the air.
like it's dumb fun. From playing the Pointer Sisters, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
First of all, Swerve has no right to shrug and be confused by the choice of music used to come out to Shaka Khan. Here, don't act like this don't fit. But to go from the Pointer Sisters, let's get excited. Tony definitely was just like, I paid for the song. I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
To Bodies by Drowning Pools was a great swerve. I I will forever love that AEW is fully committed to the music bit of
Yeah.
Anarchy in the
Yeah.
arena.
No,
And I'm pretty sure it cost a pretty penny for all this music.
I was gonna say, because wasn't it the last Anarchy in the Arena match was the final countdown spot with
Yeah.
the yeah.
Where Matt or Nick literally goes, it costs 20 grand every time this song plays. We have a budget. Because the year before that was Wild Thing
Oh yeah.
with the fucking guy with blackface.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he had the black half mask and painted the bottom after. Because the Young Bucks super kicked him to stop the music.
Yeah. Also, can I just express that I'm so happy he's no longer using that for his entrance.
Wild Thing?
Yeah.
I like Wild Thing.
It just didn't
It doesn't
fit.
fit. It doesn't fit for a heel gimmick.
No.
When heels back face, I want to hear Wild Thing again. I do like his New Japan theme more, but I like Wild Thing as a song. But
Yeah, because I started following the band that did that theme, and I was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty solid. Like,
yeah, fun
it
fact.
was more true to who Moxley's
Yeah,
supposed to be.
compared to Wild Thing, Wild Thing
Yeah.
is like the early stages of John Moxley. I don't think he'll probably go back,
Right.
but also I found out why Mercedes had new theme instead of keeping the New Japan one. It's
Copyright.
because because it
Yeah.
samples like 20 different songs.
Yes.
So, which that song is way better, but they legally they ain't using that shit. Even Tony
No.
ain't digging in his pockets for that
Yeah,
shit.
it's too much
Yeah.
because it has to clear so many like samples and yeah, it's crazy.
So,
Shame on whoever produced that
yeah,
fucking
I think it's
thing.
like her brother or something. It's like somebody close
That
to her.
makes sense. Yeah.
So,
But still, shame on you. Like, you
yeah,
should know
cut
better.
her up.
Your uncle is Snoop Dogg. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah, fun moments of the match. I love that one image that they took of Kenny doing the backflip off the guy's seat. There's an image of like him just free falling backwards and the light is hitting him perfectly. It looks like he's just crowd surf. He's about to crowd surf.
that's dope.
Willow getting locked to the post by her ear.
Oh yeah, thank you.
That was I didn't expect it. I'm like, oh yeah, she does have gauged ears, so you could fit a lock through her ear.
And that's
Which
like that screwdriver Jeff Hardy spot all over again. And I'm
yeah,
like, nope, I
that's what
could
my
do
mind
without
went
it.
to.
I could do without it.
Oh, let's see. Mark Briscoe coming back randomly.
Yeah.
Hook showing up in a Kenny hoodie,
Yeah.
which is gonna lead to Hook kind of fighting the ops because he feel like he got replaced by Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah.
But also one of my favorite spots of the entire night, which led me to buy a shirt, was Willow and Powerhouse Hobbs standing in the ring. Funny enough, Will is ripping the shirt as Willow unbuttons the rest of her I forgot overalls to reveal she's wearing a black big black and Jack t-shirt under her shirt, under her overalls, which is kind of great. Black solidarity, I love. I still wonder why the fuck that table exploded. The ending of this match is Swerve giving a stomp to one of the Young Bucks with his new Reebok shoes with thumbtacks in them.
The thumbtack
As
ones.
Kenny as as Kenny Omega is giving a one-winged angel to the other Young Buck through a table on the stage that just randomly explodes. I get that they said over the electrical wires. Bull fucking shit.
Yeah.
But I'm here
Bullshit.
for it.
That's bullshit.
Again, this was nonsensical bullshit, but I fucking love it.
Yeah.
This is something you just can't get in WWE. Like, from the match and the music standpoint, I'm pretty sure you can't get it.
No.
But hey, loved it. Then we get the bathroom break match, which
The
is
trios match?
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
catch
gonna be
this one.
honest.
I didn't catch this one.
Is Paragon versus,
I like all of these people,
but it's you are
but
in the middle of the main event and Anarchy in the Arena. This is
yeah.
a bathroom break match. I'm sorry.
Also, I kind of hate that Josh Alexander is a part of this.
The Don Callis family.
Yeah, like you brought him in and it's a big signing, and then it's like, all right, but you're throwing
It's
him in
just,
as like third to fourth fiddle
I
of
think
Don Callis's nonsense.
I'm trying to see where this goes. I'm letting it play
I'll
out.
let it breathe, but like I just don't think.
Not hopeful at the moment.
Yeah,
Because
it just kind of because again he's so solid
he's
to like
currently
do
the
shit on his own.
he's currently the MLW champion.
Oh,
I believe.
I thought he dropped it before he
I
fully
for,
signed.
I think he still is.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong.
But what I think is gonna happen is the only reason he's doing nothing right now is because of the Kenny Okada feud. I feel like if whoever, I think it's gonna be Kenny, when Kenny wins the belts and unifies them, the the Don Callis family is gonna target him, which
Right.
leads to a Josh Alexander Kenny Omega match at the next pay per view.
Which will probably end up being amazing. But
That's why I see it.
yeah, it's just you know,
Not
it's
MLW.
still early in the that's why
It's not MLW. What is the Scott D'Amore's wrestling
Oh,
promotion? It's
fuck.
like Maple.
Yes. Shit. I know what you're talking
Is it MPW?
MP. Yeah. Hold on. It's
No, that's
because it's like
Michigan.
Maple, right? Something
Yeah.
Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Is that what it is? Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling?
Yes.
Yes, MLP Wrestling.
That's what. Let's see. Who's this? Yeah. Josh Alexander. He's the current MLP Men's Canadian Champion.
Those damn Canadians.
So. But. But bathroom breaks aside, the main event being Will Ospreay versus Hangman Adam Page. No one really knew who was gonna win in this match.
Which is,
Honestly,
I think,
it
part
could
of
have
what I
went
liked about it. It didn't seem
like too obvious who's winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The report is both Page and Will Ospreay just wanted the other to win. But there is also a report that Moxley also swayed more to Hangman winning, which I'm not against.
No, yeah. I mean, I think either way you went, you could it would have been fine.
It was a great match, great spots, few dangerous spots.
Yeah.
Including table breaking before Hangman could hit a dead eye on it, which actually looked more scarier than
The
the
table
actual
was so scared that
it broke. But it could have led to Ospreay land on his neck.
Yeah.
The Styles Clash off the apron into the ground. Yeah, could have did without that one.
Styles Clash itself is already kind of such a risky move if you don't take it the right way.
Yeah.
Like
to do it
adding
off
more
the
to it
ring.
just it seems unnecessary.
I do like both people. The longer the match went, the more Ospreay played into being a heel
Yeah.
because he was showing way more aggression as the match carried on, leading to the V trigger from Ospreay, which he tried to go into the One Wing Angel, was unsuccessful, which Hangman then countered and hit the big pressure.
Yeah.
So both using their Nemesis's move,
Nemesis.
Nemesis. But after 2 buckshot lariats, Hangman Page is your men's Owen winner and will challenge John Moxley at All In.
Please drop the belt, for the love of God.
I hope so. Because the report is the whole Darby thing is not set in stone, so hopefully they did just pivot.
I thought Darby was climbing Mount Everest.
He's coming down.
Ah,
He finished like a week ago.
gotcha.
He's gonna be a
Yeah, he actually made it to the top, and now
That
he's-
motherfucker.
there's now an AEW flag at the top of Mount Everest.
Jesus Christ.
Look,
Suck
now
it, WWE. Who you
Exactly.
sending?
The King of the Mountain match.
We've gathered 6 wrestlers, and they're gonna have them compete.
They're gonna die.
Yeah.
They can't breathe.
Oh my God, Randy Orton's at the top waiting for them. Oh Lord, but no, it was overall, I would say, out of these, like maybe there was 3 matches that were just kind of meh. The rest, I think, were all well done. I look forward to the next one, next pay-per-view, see where they go with it. Like I said, I pray Moxley drops the fucking belt.
Same.
Yeah.
But All In being just around 7 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
Or less than 7 weeks.
I don't know how they're gonna compete with American Bash though.
Yeah. God forbid.
And then we're gonna add on some sad news for the end of this one. So among tons of releases that have happened, we've had 2 very recent releases, or soon to be releases, because I guess it's contract expiration.
It's contract.
So,
yeah.
R-Truth, they are not going to be renewing R-Truth's contract, which is very upsetting for some, myself included, because I love R-Truth. I'm sure you can find episodes where I've joked about, hey, give this guy a lifelong contract because he's just funny every time and it's worth it. And it was really awesome to see the outpour on Twitter from other wrestlers that all kind of were equally surprised about this and distraught about it. Obviously showing the character of R-Truth, that this guy really played a good backstage role for people and was very helpful. And the guy, just like we've said about many others, the guy just seems like an upstanding guy who just loves the gig, loves wrestling, loves the fans. Was really did the most with anything he was given, which is always impressive. Made the 24-hour championship at least fun to watch. But we'll be sad to see him go, and with whatever he decides to do, if he decides to go somewhere else or, go retire for a bit and chill. And then it looks like Carlito will also be leaving.
Yep.
It looks like he did confirm that his contract expires within the next month or so. And he will be departing. They've decided not to re-sign him. What a waste of a re-debut. I hate that for him because I liked Carlito in early wrestling, and I was really excited to see him come back and be able to wrestle again, just for them to do absolutely nothing with him for almost the entirety that he was here. I'm curious how they're going to write him off, especially with him being part of the Judgment Day. If that means we'll see this Judgment Day split a little sooner than we expected, or if this was kind of the plan from the get go that they knew they were not going to release. So it makes me wonder where the releases are coming from. This almost seems like a TKO release, not a.
Yeah, they're checking. They're seeing how
who's getting paid what and seeing where they can cut money.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm upset about it. Like I said, I'm a big R-Truth guy, but he'll do great whatever he finds. If he decides he even wants to find anything, that guy might just say it's time to be done and be done.
I mean, like his last shirt said, the last time is now.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's all on my list, guys. But is there anything else you all want to touch on?
Nope.
Olash, you got anything?
I really need people to learn how to cook online. And not the way they think they are on these like Twitter messages and shit, because you motherfuckers ain't cooking. Or no, you're cooking like these videos I've seen in the last like couple of hours that both KJ and Onyx have sent me that are appalling.
Get your little mayonnaise cheese stuffed chicken, you know?
Fucking yeah. If mayonnaise is your only seasoning, like you're in trouble. I'm just saying, like, don't be like I know I'm white, but I'm not that white. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that kind of white.
We got seasonings in our house. Oh,
salt,
Lord.
pepper, garlic, onion powder, garlic powder. Fucking something, man. You gotta put some stuff together. You can't just like let that shit sit there.
Little paprika.
If you cook your chicken and that thing is whiter than me, like there's a problem. Like,
and for the love of God, you're gonna do special fried rice. Make sure you
make
sure you cut up the garlic.
The fucking garlic.
The audacity. I pray that I have the audacity that some of these people do.
Caucasity.
Just
the caucasity of
it. Just to post shit that I post.
It's gotta be rage bait, right? Like
that has to be. There's no way. Yeah, the special fried rice I think might have just been what it was.
That's just British cooking right there. That's
it's bad when we expected it to be bad, and the first thing we hear is this woman's British accent. We just knew it wasn't going to be edible.
Oh my god!
Jesus. All right. What from everybody here, the cream of the crop. As always, we will catch you guys on the other side of the ring. Have a good night.